Good evening, barflies and lounge lizards, and welcome to Late Night Video. And tonight we'll be discussing another in the Tony Santiago Presents series, Hercules in the Haunted World from 1961. Directed by Mario Bava of Danger Diabolic and Black Sabbath fame, not to mention the father of the quite underrated Lamberto Bava, Hercules in the Haunted World is a sword and sandal meets fantasy film. A sword and sandal and sorcery film, if you will, and the last 7 or so minutes feels much like a precursor to Army of Darkness, just on a much smaller scale. And it tells the story of Hercules returning home from some oiled up adventuring to find that his lady has fallen under a spell of sorts. What Hercules doesn't know is that the spell comes courtesy of the princess's guardian. Regardless, Hercules and a couple of buddies head on a quest to Hades in order to save the princess. The film stars famed British bodybuilder Red Park as Hercules. Park didn't act long, only doing 5 films, 4 of which were Hercules movies, but he was an early influence and mentor to Arnold Schwarzenegger. It is said that seeing Park as Hercules is what made Arnie want to become a bodybuilder. Then we have George Adderson as Hercules' main sidekick. Adderson was an Italian actor who did everything from sword and sandal to spy movies to spaghetti westerns. He even played Sartana in the doubly unofficial Sartana/Django crossover film Django Defies Sartana. And lastly but not leastly, we have a fellow by the name of Christopher Lee as the villain of the piece. Lee, as I'm sure most of you know, was an actor and singer and all-around extraordinary gentleman. Unfortunately though, in the English language version of the film, he was dubbed by another actor, which is always kind of strange, kind of like Alice Cooper in Monster Dog or Jackie Chan in any of the films where he didn't dub himself. This one isn't as effects heavy as one might think, but the effects that are there are pretty darn neat. There's a scene with a rubber-suited rock monster, very Inhumanoids-esque in design, that fans of rubber-suited monsters are sure to enjoy. Then in the climax, the zombie warriors are quite creepy and weird. But with this one, it's more about mood, atmosphere, set design, and lighting. It is exactly what you would expect a sword and sandal film by Mario Bava to look like. It is absolutely incredible looking, and Bava did an excellent job of creating an otherworldly space. This was not Mario Bava's first journey into the world of Hercules. He did lighting and special effects for both the 1958 Hercules film with Steve Reeves and its 1959 sequel, Hercules Unchained. That's not the only connection to earlier Hercules films either. Sets from Hercules and the Conquest of Atlantis, also starring Reg Park, were reused for this one. Biographer Tim Lucas said that Bava inherited a limited number of set props and pieces, which he used quite often and with impressive results. Another interesting tidbit about Hercules in the Haunted World is that some have claimed that this film features the first use of non-voodoo style zombies. Whereas yes, there are some creatures that rise from their graves, these guys are not only fast, but they also just happen to fly. So that may be a wee bit of a stretch there, but it would be tough to deny the influence this must have had on later Italian zombie productions. And speaking of, this one as well features special effects by Bava himself. Plus, whilst doing research for the episode, I saw that Joe D'Amato worked on the film as well as a camera operator. Pronounced it right this time. And now the most interesting piece of trivia I was able to find. Beloved Italian actress and Lady Frankenstein herself, Rosalba Neri, is nearly always credited as being in this film. It's even on Wiki and IMDb, yet for the life of me, I could not find her in the film. So I asked the great Dick Vincent of the Oak Drive-In fame and my go-to Rosalba expert. Apparently, the actress in question was a relative of Neri's named Monica Neri, and Monica would often fill in for Rosalba early in her career for bit parts when a scheduling conflict would arise. I wouldn't really consider this one wacky myself, but apparently Bava considered it to be a parody of the sword and sandal genre. So what do I know? I've told you people not to listen to me. It's just all nonsense around here anyway. This one has been released on VHS, DVD, and even a nice Blu-ray from Kino. I give this one 3 S&M leaning rock monsters out of 5. This one is a really good time. I will say though, it takes quite a while to get started, but once it does, it is a good time and has that great kind of tabletop role-playing session feel in movies I do so enjoy. And that's all the time for this week. Please like, comment, subscribe, and keep it wacky.